Clarify this, yeah? Everyone was saying to me about Catholic priests being... Everyone's keep talking over me. Right, I want to talk to him. Leon, I want to talk to him alone, yeah? Right, so everyone was telling me about Catholic priests being paedophiles, right? Which is true, right? There's many Catholic priests who are paedophiles.
Content over everything!
So what I'm arguing, the reason I'm here today, what I'm arguing is that the Catholic priests and these, the Catholic priest paedophiles and these paedophiles should be treated the same in court. They should be given the same punishment.
They should also be treated the same in society. Meaning that society should just focus on one.
But the answer to this question before was the reason this spiralled out of control is because of race relation laws and the racial discrimination laws.
We can address that, yeah.
Right, so the police were terrified to get involved. That still would have happened, but it would have been nipped in the bud, and it would be maybe scores instead of thousands of victims.
It wasn't just a Muslim thing; it was also a social class thing, because it was white working class girls that weren't from middle class families.
The reason it spiralled was because of those laws.
When you say spiral,
it became an epidemic. They were left alone to commit the crime in immunity. They had immunity. Just like black youths on the streets of London have got immunity now to carry a knife. The police are too scared to stop them because of the racist tag.
Well, that's not right. That's not right. Black youths are disproportionately stopped and searched.
Why is knife crime out of control? The police are too scared to stop them.
No, because the police are too scared to tackle the drug cartels, which are then taking these people on.
So.
See, this is the problem. This is the problem. No, give me 2 seconds. This is the problem. You tell us to go back into our community. Sir, chill. You talk about, a lot of people, I hear this, go back into your communities and address the problems. Now, we do that. Yeah, we find out that a lot of times you get these children. Wait, let me finish.
Laws.
Okay, no worries. We'll get back to those laws. I'm building up. So, just to throw in the whole idea that black on black crime or whatever, or knife crime in particular, is a black thing. It's completely
ignorant. Say it was a black thing.
Okay, fair enough.
I didn't say it was a black thing.
Fair enough. Whether or not.
Well, what's the epidemic in London at the moment with knife murders? Who's 99% of the victims and the perpetrators?
It's true.
Right?
I'm not going to deny
I'm not
that.
singling out any people. I'm stating a fact that is a massive problem at the moment. And I say that just like Rotherham was spiralled out of control, just like Rotherham, it's because of those laws. It's the same reason why the knife crime in London has spiralled out of control. So this is the second time it's happened because they did stand down on it before.
Let him establish his context.
Right. So when it happened before 10 years ago, it was out of control. I remember it was just the same as it is now, and the elders in the black community were I remember they were literally begging the police to start doing stop and search again. They started doing it again, and then Mark Duggan happened, yeah? And then all the lefties, I'm not saying black people, all the lefties were like, this is racist. Brilliant. And the police have taken a step back because their careers can be ruined just for racial discrimination. And it's because of these laws, what brought in 1965. I'm not saying that the police have not abused black youths in the past. I'm not saying that. Right, I'm not saying that. I'm saying it's because of those laws, there would still be youths getting stabbed to death in London, but it wouldn't be out of control like it is now, right? So this problem in Rotherham, everyone's attacking me before, right? Saying what about Catholic priests? They're
not attacking you.
They were saying what's the majority of the paedophiles in this country?
So are you then attacking them by stating your facts?
No, I wasn't. I'm saying that the paedophiles, all paedophiles should be treated the same. But the laws are saying that this should be treated more serious than a white paedophile who's going to target anyone.
Right. So there's a few things just to unpack.
Do you see what I'm saying?
No, I understand. There's a few things.
Theresa May stop and search. You know that, right? Because you mentioned a bunch of lefties and stuff. You know it was
She's a lefty.
You know it was actually.
She's a hard lefty.
I'm just letting you know.
You want to know why?
When she was Home Secretary, she's the one who actually scaled back.
Yeah, because she's terrified of the R word as well.
And she's now the Conservative Prime Minister of this country.
She's terrified of those laws as well.
You're saying it's a bunch of lefties. No, you're saying it's a bunch of lefties that put pressure on the police to scale it down.
Guys, man, you had your chance. Guys, you were over there shouting. I want to have a discussion with you.
I'm going to debate this man.
Is the real point that a large number of these people, most of the gangs who were involved in these rape cases, involving in Rotherham.
This is not the debate.
Rotherham was about
This is not the debate. The debate is about the laws what are brought in, and I'm saying that because of those laws, this was allowed to spiral out of control.
Sir, please, you've made a lot of assertions today,
Okay.
And they need to be unpacked, they need to be addressed, and you need to come with numbers, you need to come with something to substantiate your claims. Now, you say that it's an epidemic. Can you give me any numbers?
This wasn't an epidemic.
tell me. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
white
1,000.
people in the
No,
news
I'm gonna
more.
wait. I'm gonna wait. 1,400.
I've
How many?
addressed that already.
1,400 over the course of what? 20, 14 years?
That's one town, it's pretty bad.
That's one town. What's the child abuse? What's the child abuse, right? Statistics per year. How many claims? You don't know.
Listen,
No,
I'm not arguing with you.
Sir.
I'm not arguing with you on that point. I'm not disagreeing. I'm talking about the laws.
Guys,
So what you're saying that Muslims and Muslim rape gangs
And Christians should be treated the same in court.
no,
That's
but
what I'm
what I'm
saying.
saying,
But the law's not the
in
case at the
terms of
moment.
abuse of children. When we're talking about abuse of
a white
children, then come
paedophile
correct.
online, yeah.
Put in every
If he
type
goes
of
and
abuse. Don't
grooms
separate it.
3
Talk about
kids,
every
yeah.
type of abuse. So then when we
All
start talking
different,
about
they
that,
didn't know
we
each
take
other,
in the
whatever.
numbers that were taken. 2011,
He's
there was
targeting anyone, yeah?
1,217
He's individual,
people
right?
who were convicted of
He's not
grooming,
going to
right?
get as the
There
law
were
says that these people should get a
50,000
higher sentence
accusations
because
of
this is
child abuse.
organised and they
That's not
specifically
even 1%.
targeted a
What the
certain
law has
group
done
of
is
people.
separated
They
the
targeted them
one,
for cultural reasons.
The law
and
hasn't
religious
done that.
reasons.
The law hasn't done that.
Right? There's no
Again,
denying
again,
that.
the
It's
law
well
hasn't
known.
done that.
Right?
Right-wing
You can
people have
disagree if
done
you
that.
want, but I think
People
that's
like
well
this gentleman
known.
have done that so that they
But you
can
have to remember
separate
that
Right, thank
these
you.
certain
are
demographics,
working
i.e.
class
Muslims,
girls.
from
And it goes
themselves
back to that
and not have
point
to address the
again.
point,
They're
the
not
fact that
just
the majority of
targeting
abusers,
middle
wait,
class
the
or
majority of
upper class.
abusers
We
are
don't-
white.
right, let me ask you a question.
They're targeting girls
Give me
that
2
were
seconds.
in what
Let me ask you a question.
In
Let me
care
ask
homes.
let me ask you a question.
They're targeting specific girls.
Guys, you mind
They're not
if we
just
continue this
randomly
conversation?
targeting
Can we not?
girls.
Can
The
we
way
not? Can we not?
I
Can we
think you're
not?
just trying to.
But you just started talking to him, you know what I mean?
No,
and then you
didn't.
left me
You
here.
went- no, you went
All right,
first.
let's take me and you then.
Like
me
I
and
was
you.
saying,
Okay.
point.
in particular, when you're talking about Muslims, right? Can you give me one report where the person has actually admitted that they're a practicing Muslim?
So do you think...
No, answer the question, sir.
All right, ask the question again.
Yeah, exactly.
The question is, how many reports can you find where the perpetrators actually admitted, right, that they did it because of Islam or that they're a practicing Muslim? Where is the report, sir?
I didn't say that.
It's a simple, no.
didn't
What
say
what
that.
does it say here?
That's why you
That
write that,
enabled
innit?
Rotherham
You're
Muslim rape. So which
Are they,
one
were
of
they
these
not
guys?
Muslims? Were they not Muslims?
Were they practicing?
I've never met
If I
them.
go
Did
to,
they
if I
do
go
it
to
out
They're
of the
from the
religion?
Muslim
Sir,
community.
sir, if
Are they not from the Muslim community?
They're from the Asian community. There's a big difference.
No, it's not.
No.
It's
Do
not.
you know
They-
why? Do you know why?
they were
Can you
from
not
the
get-
Muslim
Can you
community.
not
That's
get?
well-known
I understand.
fact.
Can you not get white British Muslims as well?
Of course you can.
Can you get black British Muslims as well? Of
course you
So
can.
what do you mean they were
Yeah,
from the
so
Muslim
that's
community?
very misleading because it could
Absolutely.
actually
Absolutely.
be white Christian and
So if they was all white, I'd say the same thing.
You would say the same
So
thing.
what you would say
Okay, that's
Muslim-
brilliant. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
Hitler was Christian, so then
No, okay, let me ask you a question.
the
Let me
same
ask you-
argument.
Go on.
Guys, please, we're having a debate.
Go on.
After, take questions after, it's no
Yeah,
problem.
we
Yeah?
had the shouting match earlier. Let's do this.
We don't want to start shouting. It's
No,
good.
no worries. Go on.
Right. So everybody's pointed out that these Catholic priests, paedophiles, they all pointed out that they're
As an
Catholics.
example, yeah.
Well, you might have, but most people weren't. They say
they were
Catholic
priests.
priests. So why do they have
Because
to?
they were priests.
But why do you have to point out that their religion?
But
Why-
here's
why
the
they-
thing. I'll give you an example.
We do say it's
When
Catholic inside the church.
we talk about
On the
practicing-
news,
Sorry.
on the news.
When we talk about religion and we talk about the practice of religion, right? You
These
cannot
people he's
deny.
talking about, they used to sell, they shot.
Please,
They do all of that.
You cannot deny that these were priests, right? These were priests within the foundation and the heart of the Catholic Church. There's a difference between priests who are at the foundation and are representatives of the Catholic Church in comparison to a few lowlifes who are on the streets constantly loitering around looking for white girls to groom. There's a big fundamental difference when it comes to representation. Now, when we talk about Muslim gangs in particular, I want to ask you, which mosque did any of these gangs attend?
In Muslim countries, right? Is
Is
it the norm that you will not see a single woman walking
There's no
around
Muslim countries.
at evening time?
That's not a law. Do you know why?
No. Is that the case in
the
most
reason-
in
the
most
reason is-
in
the
most
reason-
in most Muslim
The
countries?
reason I'm gonna say
In most
Yeah,
Muslim
go on.
countries,
Yeah.
is it not the norm that single women will not be seen walking around at 9 o'clock in the evening?
This is brilliant because we have
Saudi Arabia isn't a Muslim country. You said there's no Muslim country.
Guys, wait, one
sound-
second.
I'm not-
One second.
Remember when that guy killed Lee Rigby and he said Islamic lands. He said Islamic lands. No Islamic lands. He mentioned Islamic lands, didn't he? So no true Scot. So Islamic countries.
Dude, if you want to have a
There are
conversation,
Islamic countries.
Bro,
Ruled by puppets, man.
guys, if you want to have a
Well,
conversation,
they're Islamic still. You might say they're ruled by puppets,
Carry on,
but
carry
they're
on.
considered to be Islamic.
Carry on.
so basically, in particular, when we're talking about like Muslim countries,
In the South, ruled
I've
by
seen
Donald
pictures of
Trump.
girls in Saudi Arabia at night time.
point
What are you
is
talking about?
that
There's pictures of girls in Saudi Arabia at night time.
What?
We have expats,
No,
we have
no,
expats in particular, girls from the UK who go to Saudi Arabia. They take pictures at night time. So I don't know what you're talking about. Muslim women in particular in Muslim countries can't walk on the
From what I've
street.
seen on
If you're talking about
television-
if you're talking about war-torn Islamic countries, then we can have a conversation in that context. But
you can't get
talk
out.
about moral economic
Okay.
development.
In Pakistan,
No, beware that crap.
I've never been there, but I've seen many things on television, many people speaking that generally single women will not be seen out on the street in Pakistan. Single women will not be seen out on the street in Pakistan.
You do realise
It's a very rare thing to see, and if it does happen, they may be treated as being not correctly Islamic.
we're going to go back to
They're not following the culture and the Islamic law. And I am saying that was a factor in these crimes. Are you saying that wasn't a
I'm going
factor?
to say it wasn't a factor. I'm going to say it.
Because I'm saying that they would do it, they would have done it to their own people as well if she was in a children's home. She was Pakistani, yeah. She was born a Muslim, she was in a home, she was wandering the streets, they would have done it to her as well because the culture is if you're not practicing the correct Islamic traditions, you're a target and you deserve it.
That's brilliant.
And you know headscarf, you know head covering.
Basically, they're saying Muslim.
I'm going to ask you something.
Basically, they're saying
If that is the case, and Islam has such a strict, fundamental obligation that
I'm
you
not
practice,
saying that it's got a strict fee, but that's the norm in
That's
most
the law, that's the
predominantly Islamic countries. That is the norm.
can I
Iran,
ask you-
Pakistan, Bangladesh. That is the case. Are you
Can
denying that?
I ask
And
you,
for,
right? These
looking at the
non-practicing
percentage of
Muslims
the-
who are
the
doing drugs,
demographic.
drinking alcohol,
Wait,
watching pornography, where were these Islamic supposed states calling them out before they groom these girls?
How do you know they were doing it?
They don't go out and do that in the name of Allah.
Yes,
And
it's reported.
And so
They were
Listen,
very heavy on
listen,
that.
listen.
So you guys haven't even read the Rotherham report. You haven't even read the Rotherham report.
That's not you.
So you don't understand that.
Sorry, they are
Yeah,
agents
exactly.
to diagnose.
You don't understand the
Okay.
fact that they
What
use
is-
drugs, right,
I'm
to
saying
ploy these
all
girls
of
in.
these
They
things
use
they
alcohol to
do,
ploy
they
these
don't
girls
go
in.
out and do their
So can you
crime
tell
in the
me
name of
where
Allah.
was the
Do they?
Islamic State
They may not be
Exactly.
supposed to
Wait,
prosecuting these people
They may
for
not
doing
be
non-Islamic
saying
things?
in the
So
name
his
of
question
Allah.
is why didn't the authorities, why were they scared? He just said,
They weren't
I'm
scared.
not here to debate whether Muslims rape or not. That's not why I'm here. The reason I'm here is about religiously and racially aggravated crimes.
No, I
So
agree.
I've clarified to everyone. I
They may not be
think Christian
extremely
priests,
hard at every time they
a Christian
do.
priest who
That's what they
raped
think.
one child, one child should be treated the same in court as these people.
Absolutely.
But the law states that's not the law in this country at the moment. The law says that these people, they obviously targeted a specific group of people. That should be an extra crime and you should get more years. And I disagree with that. I disagree with that. Right? And this is why this was allowed to happen because the police would have gone in much quicker and they would have stopped it quicker. Right? These people were evil. Right? They happen to be Muslim. They happen to be Muslim.
Let's have
They are
Your
inferior.
guys.
Your mum's fault.
Yo, guys.
If you do a crime, it's your mum's
Guys,
fault.
if you're gonna have a
No, but you
conversation,
can't question the dogma and your philosophy
It's
within
your
that
fault.
community.
So don't say
guys,
so
if we're gonna have a conversation, can you do over there?
Your philosophy.
Can you tell them to
You
do over
can't
there?
question the
Have
dogma
the
and your
conversation
philosophy within
over
that community.
Right, can we have this debate about, right, do you agree? Please let me ask you this one question.
So you've made a lot of assertions and you've never let me actually address any of the assertions.
Right,
That's the
let me
problem.
just say why I'm
We can't
here.
have a dialogue if it's just
Do
one
you
person
agree
exposing the
that?
whole
Do you
thing.
agree that in this country we should have racially aggravated crimes, which give you a tougher penalty for, let's say, murder, for
No, I
instance?
believe you should be treated all the same.
Well, you agree with me.
So the
That's all.
question-
That's all I'm here
okay,
for.
but brilliant.
Right,
The question
right,
is-
that's
the
all I'm
question
here
is-
for.
No, that's
You
brilliant.
lot are both saying the same
But that's the question. The question is, I've never
So
said that
why
I don't
do-
agree with him in the fact of
So
treating
why-
everyone as an equal.
Yeah.
I'm asking you, why haven't you treated people as an equal? Where were you when Jimmy Savile abused the girls? Were you here as well with
I was
the same message?
condemning him. I was
Were you here with
condemning him.
Were you here with the same message?
No, but there wasn't laws in place
Were
to
you
prevent
here-
the police stopping Jimmy Savile. There wasn't laws in place to
There were
prevent
laws
it.
in
But there are no laws in
There are
place
laws
stopping
in
the
place.
police like from prosecuting.
You had
What,
people.
Jimmy
you
Savile?
Had,
What-
yes,
what-
you
what
had
you're
people-
telling me?
You had people
You're telling
report.
me?
You had people.
Are you telling me?
Sir, you had people report Jimmy Savile.
statute
Yeah,
And they
yeah,
had
yeah,
the
yeah. But the
conversation.
police
So
weren't.
please don't
The
tell me.
police
Don't
weren't.
tell me.
What
Don't tell me the
statutes and
infrastructure
acts-
does
The
not have
police,
a
the
ban.
police weren't, the
prosecuting
police weren't scared, right, to arrest Jimmy Savile because they may lose their career over it. or they may get arrested for racial hate, inciting racial hatred.
You realise Jimmy Savile kept the silence, right? He kept the monogamy of silence by threatening other people that they would lose their job.
That's to do with establishment of power. Yeah, that's a different issue.
But again, you just said. But the thing is,
It's a different issue, right? The police weren't frightened in the same way they was frightened to intervene with this.
What's the difference?
The difference is that money corrupts with that one, yeah, and this one, it's not correct to have certain laws to sing. I think it's extremely patronising by the government who introduced these laws in 1965 to say that ethnic minorities can't stand up for themselves and deal with it. We already had laws in place for a deterrent. We already had if you get done for GBH, right, 7 years is a big deterrent.
Sir,
right?
you have to be
if
honest.
If it's racial rate, it's another 2 years.
When you're going to talk about these assertions, you have to be honest as to why these laws are in place. You pretend that it's because they believe that we can't stand up for ourselves. No, it's because the system systematically. No. That's exactly what you just said. Exactly, precisely. So when we talk about
actually, the racially aggravated laws were brought in to protect white people as well.
When we talk about this in particular, there's been systematic.
Do you know about the McPherson?
Let me just. Because
there's been examples. Yeah, tell them.
So you're getting upset,
So there's
but you're
examples.
joining on with him talking.
No, I was just saying that that's where I was going. I'm allowing
institutional racism.
So when I'm talking about that in particular, you say it's because you believe that they believe we can't stand up for ourselves. Well, how are you meant to stand up for yourselves when there's certain court systems that treat our youths as adults? Can you explain that to me? In terms of when a youth does a crime, a black youth does a crime, he's more likely to be tried as an adult than any white child. Can you tell me why that is?
But that's not the debate.
Well, it is a debate.
Oh my God! You just said.
You're saying the
You just said.
Well, what do you mean? Say that again. Say that again. Say it again.
When a black child is on trial, he's more likely to be tried as
What
an
age are you
adult.
talking? What
as
age
an
are you
adult.
talking? As a
12,
child?
11, 9. What more
Tried
do you
as an
want?
adult.
What more do you want? There's examples
No,
of that.
there's
Say
laws.
that again?
Is a 12-year-old committing a crime?
Is there a 12-year-old committing a crime? Can you give me an example?
But that's what you just said.
Why are they
No, it
committing
doesn't
crime?
necessarily
Why
mean
Come on, come on,
doesn't
come on.
necessarily mean in every case that someone's committing a crime. Do we not have false accusations?
No, but you're just saying that.
So, sir,
12-year-old people are
stop
committing-
yelling stuff that you don't really have any fact or anything on. Anyway, go on. Continuous.
Right. So you're saying that kids are getting tried as adults. That's
Yeah, you have
we've
kids
got
being
laws.
tried
If you
as
go
adults.
prison, you go prison, youth prison till 21, and you're tried as a child up until the age of 18,
I'll give
17.
I'll give you an example. You have certain children nowadays who are serving certain not life sentences, but really long sentences for drug crimes. Now, selling drugs isn't a violent crime. Immediately,
I think drugs should be
It's not.
decriminalised. I
Fair
think
enough.
drugs should be decriminalised.
It's not an
full
immediate
stop.
crime.
That's why
But
I'm
you
arguing on
had only last year, and I think it was the year before, a university student. Wait. A university student. She was a white girl. She stabbed her boyfriend in the leg. In the leg. This guy almost bled to death. This woman was given a 6 months.
Listen,
6 months. Wait.
I am not saying
6 months,
black people are
slap
not
on the wrist.
discriminated against.
No,
I'm not
but-
saying that.
No,
When
but
did I
I'm
say
trying to
that?
explain. I'm trying to explain the fact that you just said you felt that the community says that.
you're
Yeah, exactly.
complaining
You
about
said
the
that.
laws as
You said
in place
the
to protect
laws
it.
said that they can't
And now you're
protect
saying
themselves or
you're
look
not-
after themselves. I'm giving you an example that there's
yourself.
systematic oppressions that do make sure that certain people get harder tries than other people, which are people of color get they get tried harder than
I am
people
not
who are
saying.
white.
I am not saying that black people don't get discriminated against. I'm not saying that. I am saying, right?
I never said you said that.
Right, but we agreed a minute ago that there shouldn't be extra
Yeah,
time
but
for specific groups of people.
What
who
I
are
mean
being
about the
attacked.
race relation laws and the statutes and acts that
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
saying,
and I'm saying-
were introduced in order to
and that
protect
allow-
these minorities, and you don't think that's fair, right?
Yeah, we had sufficient.
And the worst thing, let's be honest,
No,
the
you're
crimes
wrong.
are not even relevant to the
I've come here to
statutes.
discuss these laws, not religion.
But the thing is, even when we're talking about that, though, sir, even when we're talking about that
Listen,
particular
in
law,
1965,
it's not
we
even
already
relevant.
had laws to prosecute people for murder, GBH, verbal abuse. We didn't need more laws. It's made it worse, and that is what I'm saying. Because of those laws, it's made this worse.
So what would you have done?
And then there's a backlash against the Asian community because of it.
So
it's
what-
making it a climate of fear and hate. Instead of they wanted to make a climate of love, it's backfired.
So what would you have
Majorly backfired.
Again, what would you have done about a system that wanted to try people of color a lot more harsher than white people? What would you have done?
But that wasn't the law.
That's what led to the law. That's what led to the law.
It wasn't the law. It wasn't the law. Tell me where the law says that a black person is supposed to get more sentence than a white person. Where's it? It might have been happening, but it wasn't written in law.
It's in practice.
It
was something which was practiced on the
So
regular.
it-
Everyone knew about it.
I'm not denying that. I'm not denying that. I'm not denying that.
Let's just,
That was in their heads.
forget
It wasn't law.
Forget it.
It wasn't law, was it?
We've just established, right? So can you at least concede that the idea of
But
it
you're
being
confusing
Muslim?
me. You're confusing me because a minute ago you agreed that there shouldn't be
that
extra.
people
See
should-
what he's agreeing with me. You agreed with me.
He's saying that you shouldn't have like
Extra time for crimes
everyone should be
against
treated the same when it comes
in
to
a court. Everybody should.
So
Yeah.
the question, so guys,
He agrees with me.
Okay, that's brilliant.
Right, and because of those laws, that's why this happened. And because of these laws, the black youths on the streets of London are being. It's terrible what's going on.
I understand, but that bit is incorrect because you're saying that they've been
The
allowed
police are
to
scared.
carry
The police are
knives.
scared to stop and search them.
Police stop and search black people every single day. On a regular basis.
You said that Theresa May said she stopped it.
Yeah, well, she didn't stop it. She said
Oh,
that
but a
she
minute
needs
ago
to
you
be.
said she stopped
didn't
it.
say that. You're misquoting me. To be fair, I said she scaled it back dramatically. So Theresa May reduced the rate at which
He
it was
agrees with me
happening.
with that. He agrees
Well,
with
you know
me.
what? But you can't say it's a Muslim rape.
That's the thing. I'm just about
Yeah,
to
we've
get
already
just about
tackled
to
that.
get-
We've already tackled that, and I think he agrees with
tackled
that.
it.
And you agree with
I was
that,
just
right?
about to ask you, can you concede the fact that you can at least change the Muslim bit to it? Because there's
Why?
no evidence.
Why should I?
You know why you need to
But
be a bit, because you need to be a bit more
But
specific.
they were from the
Because
Muslim
misleading.
community, and it's because of Muslim culture in Muslim countries, yeah? That was a factor.
Okay, so
They
which
would
Muslim
do it to
community?
Asian people as
Sir,
well,
sir,
right?
you got-
If
sir.
they weren't practicing Muslims, because they would see they're not doing things correct, and they're on the target.
Which Muslim community? The Shia community, the Sunni community, the Salafi community, the Wahhabi, which community? Ghanaian Muslims,
What?
Nigerian Muslims, Arab Muslims, English Muslims.
What is your question? What's your
Which
Generalising.
Muslim are you
You're
talking about?
generalising.
You
Muslims
are
in general.
generalizing.
It don't matter where they come from. Don't matter.
He's not discriminating. He's just saying.
He's just saying Muslims.
That was a
in
fact.
general.
That was a fact.
He's not-
When did I say all Muslims?
You know why? You're
When
asking
did I
him to
say?
pick out
does it-
specific,
if I would have said all
racial
Muslims, I'd put
demographic,
all
but he's
in
not
front
picking
of
out racial
them.
demographic.
You're generalising.
minute ago-
You're generalising, thinking that I think all Muslims. I would have put all Muslims there if I meant all Muslims.
So which Muslims are you referring to?
The people who got arrested.
But you can't even prove that they were Muslim.
Not all Muslims.
Mention the name, bruv.
You can't even
This
prove
is
that
my
they
point.
were
This is my
Muslims.
point. Everyone's too scared. This is my point. This is my point. Everyone's too scared to point out the facts. Which I drove up here, right, and I've got a lot of examples I was going to give,
Here's the
right?
problem.
I've got.
When you
Let
say
me
the
finish.
facts,
Let
no,
me
I
finish.
understand, but when you say the facts, we're asking for you for a police report saying
I'm
that
gonna
these were
give you
Muslims.
some
So give us the
examples.
police report.
But we agree.
No, I want
but we
the police
agree.
report.
Can I show everyone the camera this, yeah? This is Unheard Voices by the Muslim Women's Network. It talks about how these same gangs, or whatever what you want to call them,
But this is
abuse
my point.
Muslim women. No, wait.
No, I'm
They abuse
debating
Muslim
him.
women.
I'm debating him.
Hundreds and thousands.
They don't wanna
But
hear
in our
about that,
culture,
though.
they don't come out.
They don't want to
They
hear
don't
about
want to
it.
come out because we have this thing called thirsty and chain.
Listen.
I'm not saying that we don't have it
Exactly,
within our
exactly.
culture. They
There
want
are
it.
limitations
where
in
have
the
I
cultures
said-
that can be addressed.
I didn't say all Muslims, did I?
Say that again?
I didn't say all Muslims. Did
No.
I?
My problem is not that you're saying all Muslims. My problem is that you're equating it to a religion that has nothing to do with the groomings. I've pointed to you certain instances that are non-Islamic, and you have failed to point to me instances where the police have actually taken the time to go and visit the mosque that these people are preaching or practicing.
Do you think the
Sir,
fact?
I'm.
Do you think? Do you think
you know,
the fact?
I've got other people to
Let
go
me
to.
say one more
Yeah,
thing.
go on.
Do you think the fact that they was targeting 10, 11-year-old girls, right?
Say that again?
In like let's say Afghanistan, for example, it is legal to marry a 10-year-old girl.
So your problem is with the culture now.
Right? Afghanistan and Pakistan, right? It's the same thing, yeah? Are you saying that is not a factor in these cases? What, in Afghanistan, you think? Can you marry a 10-year-old girl in Afghanistan?
Okay, I don't want to destroy the argument. What you're saying completely wrong.
Are you Pakistani descent?
Yes, I am.
Right, can you marry a 10-year-old girl in Pakistan?
No, you can't.
You don't know the rules?
If you're making the
Can you in Afghanistan?
But anyway, forget that. If she's saying it's Muslim, you probably already said that, yeah? But what, these guys are the same guys that are drinking, getting them girls plugged up. Have you already said it?
said this.
fine.
The thing is, he's not acknowledged it. He's not acknowledged it.
Not acknowledging what?
You haven't acknowledged the fact. You haven't acknowledged the fact that I've asked you to show me an example of a practicing Muslim that has committed this crime.
What crime?
The raping, the gangs, the
Well,
grooming.
there was one instance. They were quoting from the Quran when they was abusing her.
There is one instance.
Right. So
that's one
there could be many more. There could be many more for all we know.
Does that one idiot represent the rest of us? I'm Pakistani Muslim. I'll never do
I
that.
agree.
He said once he said this. You know when you're in court and you're an idiot, you'll quote anything to justify yourself. So this idiot
We're agreeing essentially, right? But we're disagreeing on the Muslim issue, right? We're disagreeing on that, right? But essentially we're agreeing that these laws shouldn't be in place to give more sentence to people who target different groups of people.
But that's brilliant. I'm asking you in particular.
Which is the Race Relations Act.
Brilliant.
And
Before the act or the law was put upon us, right? What was the British public doing to address the fact that there was already a prejudice system?
Well, we had laws to deal with it. People were getting arrested.
But you're complaining about laws now.
Instead of dealing with those minority of white people attacking ethnic minorities, let me finish. Instead of them dealing with the minority of white people attacking the ethnic minorities in the 60s, instead of dealing with them alone and taking them to court and putting them in prison, right? They basically found the whole population guilty and brought those laws in. And they
what laws particular do you disagree with? Well, I want to know what laws.
I just wanted to add a little
racial, religiously aggravated laws. What you get more time for if they say that's a factor.
But there were minorities in the
and that's why they spiralled, because of those laws. The police were scared.
I agree with you.
The police were scared.
I agree
the police were scared because of those laws. Because of those laws. It is. So why were they scared of the word racist? Why were they scared?
Why were they?
Why were they scared of the word racist?
They were accused of people
even that talking. We're not talking about offenders here. We're talking about the judges. We're talking about the police. We're talking about an infrastructure that is prejudiced. So
you're never going to stand prejudice out. There's always going to be prejudice within the black community, within the white community.
So
prejudice is prejudice.
Your problem is that they introduced law to slightly soften it. Your problem is you'd rather we just lived in a way that
United States 12, UK 12. It's not in Pakistan or Afghanistan, you know.
Afghanistan is 10 years old to marry a child. Right, so basically my quibble is that we are all scared, we're tiptoeing around. Oh, I can't put Muslim there, I'm not allowed to put... That's because
that's factually incorrect.
No, it's not.
They happen to be Muslim.
If I put all Muslim, that would be factually
But in the context that we live in, with the far right, etc., which are using this as an attack, we know Muslims and Islam are under...
I'm not even going to...
No. I have to say, as a Muslim, absolutely, people have a right to question Islam. But the
what's the far right got to do with it?
It's causing hatred amongst communities.
Those laws.
I'm not going to accept that, right? Because it's Muslim guilt. I'm not going to accept that because they don't accept white guilt. When we talk about slavery, they're the first to shut that down because they don't want to feel white guilt. So there's no way. There's no way. There's no reason.
So you just generalised them. He just said them, right? Does that mean all white people? You just generalised.
I don't believe
you said them. You said them, meaning all white people.
I did actually.
Yeah. So how many times have you done that? How many times have you done that? Loads of times. You've done it loads. You know that. Everyone does it.
Why don't you?
Everyone does it. I'm not accusing
some Muslims.
In terms of
because the people who got arrested were Muslim.
That would be more factually correct.
But it wasn't some. It was quite a lot. It was quite a lot. It was quite a lot.
Yeah, of course, but it's still some.
Rather than make Muslim, in terms of apologetic Muslims, I don't agree with it because they're not apologetic to you at all. So if one side is apologetic and the other side is not, you should not be apologetic.
In defence of,
yeah,
I would defend my religion,
but they want to defend their. They
want
to defend their
business. I don't judge myself.
No worries. It's just I disagree. So when we talk about this particular case, I'm going to end it here because you clearly don't want to talk about the fact that you have no proof that it's related to Islam. You don't want to talk about the actual statistics to show that it's not even an epidemic. Do you even know the numbers for you to say that it's an epidemic?
Muhammad marry a child of 6
I don't know what Muhammad has to do with the numbers.
6 years old. He married.
First of all, he didn't. First of all, he didn't. Yeah, but secondly, no. But the thing is, it's got nothing to do with it. That's the thing. You jump from there, Hadith, and you selectively.
There's no point. Every time. No. I get
you can say what you like about me.
No, I don't really care.
You can say what you like. I'm not here to discuss that. It's about the laws.
Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that hadith
For
that
me
you probably
personally,
don't
I hate
know
this
about
discussion
got to
because
do with that
lefties
Rotherham
bring the
grooming
facts to
gangs.
you. Lefties bring the facts to you, but you throw the dead cat on the
Listen,
table.
listen.
No, wait. You throw the dead cat on the table and you say, oh, but what about Mohammed and Aisha? What does Mohammed and Aisha have to do with this?
Because
It
they
has
follow
nothing to
they,
do with
they
this.
follow.
Sir, no, I'm
These
not even,
idiots that have been
Talk
doing
is done. Talk is done. For me
These
personally,
scumbags.
This discussion has been had so many times in this park.
Then why did you bring it up?
I didn't.
For me
I want to speak about the
personally,
laws.
All right.
when you take responsibility, right? When you take responsibility for all the scandals that happened before we reached this epidemic of Rotherham scandal, then I will take you seriously.
I'm not complaining
Until
about
then,
the Rotherhams.
until then, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear how you went on Quilliam and decided that Muslims are somehow to blame. I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear how somehow rape crimes are isolated to Eastern cultures. I don't want to hear it because every time we do bring you facts, all you want to do is la la la.
You can marry a child at 10.
It's over.
Can you marry a child at 10 years old in Afghanistan?
You can marry a dog in England, so I'm not.
Really?
Yeah, you finished it. Chuck it away. That's it.
Nah, mate. Nah.
It's finished.
Nah, it's not. I could give you some examples of this law. Why it should be.
You just finished it.
I'm not talking about Islam, mate. I'm not interested.
Why does it say Muslim?
I'm interested in the law. The law should be abolished. I've got some good examples. The reason why it should be abolished. Do you want me to do that?
No, I've got something else I've got to film now, man.
Yeah.
Maybe Leah.
Well, what do you think? You don't get involved in debates, do you?
No, I try not to. I try not to.
So, does anyone here think that those laws should be in place?
Fatality. You're
No
done.
one.
It was fatality. Gone.
You're
finished. No. Record.
Can't take away everything from your humanity.
Man, say it straight. Man, don't listen to BBC. Man, don't listen to iTunes.
You wanna get poked in the ass.
What proves?
Something's gonna poke in the ass, man.
Let me show you what a dickhead is. A dickhead is a man who trolls another man, does research on a man, and you're calling him a lady boy. Hold on one second. Wait. You called him a lady boy. Your boys called him a lady boy. Yeah.
Yeah, and what?
And you're researching him, and you don't think that's a bit weird?
Don't get in my face.
Gay stuff in your search engine.
You're talking about gay. You're coming in my face like you want to touch me.
Gay
bro.
stuff
Why
in
you trying
your
to touch me?
search engine.
Why you trying to touch
Yeah.
me? You must be gay yourself.